The history of Lancaster Baptist Church is the history of God touching people's hearts, and those people responding in faith to Him. The church we experience today is a result of God's blessing and the result of the faithful prayer, work, and financial sacrifice of dozens of members who, for decades, have allowed God to work through them to His glory.
Reflecting back to the first emphasis on giving by faith, it was 1988, and my wife and I, we had no idea what it was all about. We were willing to give. We financially had the funds to give. So it was more of a sight gift than a faith gift. But over the course of the last 27, 28 years, we've learned what it is to give by faith. And the Lord has instructed us, He's used us, and we give Him all the glory for it. But to see what He's done in response to not just our family, but the church body, and seeing the structures going up, the buildings going up. But what's really exciting is to see the lives changed.
We've been very faithful and blessed to be able to give in all the offerings for this ministry. And it's such a blessing to see how God has used that to build this ministry and build this church.
Being part of the building program every year has just been just wonderful, because when we come to the campus, we don't see brick and mortar, we see souls that are saved, and young people are being trained, and the Word being preached and taught and spread out throughout the world.
Through all the different seasons of life, God's blessed us, and learned by experience that God's hand is upon our pastor, and I want to do everything I can to encourage him and to follow his faith. And God has always met our needs, and when we've given to the Lord, and I'm excited to see what He's going to do this year.
It's phenomenal to look back and see all the growth, not only in the campus, but in ourselves. We started at the old church, downtown Lancaster, and have come out here in late '93 and seen the Lord do so much. It's phenomenal when you think about it, that basically in 20 years, everything that's happened on this campus has happened. And then when you look inside, and you see what the Lord has done.
God has just shown us that He's always provided. We've never been without. And He, through giving, which is by faith, He's shown us that He is the one that can do exceeding abundantly above all that we can ask or think.
One of the largest lessons I've learned about giving by faith is truly God can provide. God's enabled us to be a part of every part of the building program since the very beginning. Pastor said for years, before the first building was built, that the building is not the end of the vision. And it's awesome to see God now, 28 years later, not just with the North Auditorium, but the campus that we have, and now the Walther Center, and just what God has done over those 28 years. And to see the vision now that God has started to really unfold from what we thought was just the North Auditorium is truly phenomenal.
The Lord's been good to us. Like you said, we raised our family here. We've seen them meet godly husbands and godly wife, and the Lord's been good.
I've learned by giving by faith that it's taught me the importance of trusting God and realizing that He will make a way for us when there truly seems to be no way, and that we don't see a light at the end of the tunnel, but He never once says, "Don't trust me." He says, "Trust me." And He's proven Himself over and over, and He's proven Himself to be faithful.
He's allowed us to give in a miraculous fashion, I believe. Every year we look at our giving records, and it's amazing how the Lord's allowed us to give, and beyond our wildest imagination. How could He do that? But He's done that. The Lord's blessed us, blessed our children, our grandchildren. We're looking forward to one day being in the Walther Center, watching basketball games or volleyball games or whatever.
Eating at the Point.
Eating at the Point, yeah. I'm really looking forward to that. And we're blessed beyond measure. You're looking at the two most blessed people in the world.
As we prepare for our March 1st I Will Build offering, May the testimonies of these faithful men and women compel us to express our faith in prayer and sacrifice. And may we leave to those coming behind us a legacy of faith in a great miracle-working God.